everyone, welcome to this Tuesday with Michelle. So excited to be bringing you this fun-packed episode, starting with number one on the agenda, the announcement of who to send your dilemmas to. So in this Tuesday episode, I asked you guys to vote for who you would trust more with dilemmas. The people spoke, the people voted. Auntie Shelly Bean is going to be there for you guys for any dilemmas that you have. Just send them to @UnpackingLove and they will be brought here on Tuesdays by Auntie Shelly Bean to answer you in the flesh or in your ears. Okay, number two, poll results. So, for those people who listen on Spotify, if you clicked on the title of episode 2, you may have noticed that there was a poll underneath there, and it pretty much had a question, and then you had like responses that you could vote on. For those people who don't listen on Spotify, I brought the poll to Instagram and had people answer there. So this is what the question was, or the situation. Guy takes girl out for dinner. This is the first date, guys, okay? Girl orders dinner and then orders to go lunch for tomorrow. The question is, what should the guy pay for? And answer A was everything. Answer B, just dinner, no to go lunch. Answer C, just his share. And then answer D, nothing. The results were as follows. The highest was answer B, 36%, just dinner, no to go lunch. The second highest was answer C, which was he should just pay for his share, 32%. The third most voted for was he should pay for everything. And the last, but not least, was 8% said that he should pay for nothing. So let's go a little bit into these results. Okay, starting with the highest one, 36% just dinner, no to go lunch. I'm just going to point out some of the funny comments that I received in the DMs, right? So this person, who's a girl, by the way, messaged me and said, if he pays for more, right? So if he ends up paying for everything, including the to-go lunch, he gets more points. So then when she said that to me, I was like, okay, he gains more points, but she loses points, right? Because I'm like, well, why is she ordering to-go lunch when she was just taken out for dinner? It makes no sense. So this friend of mine replies, why does she lose points? Women have been through so much. This is only reparations. Give it up for girl power, everybody. And going on to the answer A, which was that he should pay for everything. This is very interesting. So one of my guy friends said, it really depends on the guy's heart. It also depends on like how much money he has. And these are some of my favorite responses. This one came from a guy and he said, it depends on the vibe. This will be the first and last date though. And he said that pretty much like it's a red flag if someone is out here ordering lunch when they're just supposed to be ordering dinner. Like, why are you ordering dinner and lunch, right? And then this response came from a girlfriend of mine and she said, and I quote, not only should he pay for everything, he should also give her some pocket money for a drink for tomorrow. Oh my gosh, guys, you had me laughing out loud, okay? So that was very, very interesting. I personally don't agree with the response, the 8% of the people who voted that this guy should pay for nothing, because in as much as she's exhibiting unacceptable behavior of ordering for the next day, you should still be a gentleman and at least pay for your own share. Come on, everybody. Third on the agenda, the T, guys, messy, complicated relationships. So for those people who know me, you guys already know that I'm obsessed with Steve Harvey. He's such an inspiration. He's such a boss. Anyway, he has a new TV show, which is called Judge Steve Harvey. And so basically you have a plaintiff who comes on the show and then they pretty much explain why they want to sue the defendant for X amount of dollars for being wronged in some sort of way, right? So the situation is this man comes and he says he wants to sue this woman for $1,300 and she's like a personal chef, right? So he wants to sue her because she basically didn't deliver on what she was supposed to deliver. So Steve is like, okay, like paint the picture for us. So this guy is like, well, basically, what happened was I found this lady and, he really wanted to just surprise her with all this lavish stuff, right? So he like books an amazing Airbnb or like a hotel. It was a 3-day weekend. He gets a personal chef, this lady, and her name is Michelle. He gets a personal chef, Michelle, who's supposed to come and chef it up. It's like a whole 3-course meal or whatever. It was just gonna be really bomb, okay? Like the atmosphere had been created. Everything was just perfect. All this chef had to do was show up, do her magic, and then everything was gonna go well. So this chef is supposed to arrive at 7 p.m. and she arrives at 10 p.m. And on top of that, instead of serving like this amazing Southern cuisine with like this bacon wrapped sausage, this fish, this blah 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 blah, she comes and she serves them chitlins. So first of all, that's how they said it, right? I'm like, what are chitlins? I had never heard that word. So I was Googling it, only to find out that chitlins or chitterlings are basically pigs' intestines or intestines. I don't know how you guys want to say it. So basically, this woman comes and does that extreme opposite of what she was supposed to do. So this man is angry. He's like, she basically like ended up ruining the night, and like me and this woman never worked out, and it's because of her. So she basically sabotaged my date. So Steve Harvey's like, why are you using words like sabotage, and why would she sabotage you? This man goes, because she's jealous. Guys, tell me how it turns out that these people had dated before. How does it make sense that you get your ex to drive for hours, okay? It doesn't even matter that she's like a personal chef or a caterer. You get her to drive for hours to come and chef it up for a woman that you're now seeing. Isn't that crazy? So anyway, Steve is like digging in about like the relationship that they had or whatever. And then it turns out they did go on dates. He claims it was like they were on and off for 5 years. She claims it only happened over a few months. But basically the guy was like, well, I dumped her. So clearly she's jealous or whatever. Turns out these people are like family friends. He has mad love for her. She has mad love for him. And so in the end, Steve is like, I'm not giving any of you people money. You guys clearly have some feelings that you have to resolve. And clearly you guys like each other and you need to be together. So yeah, I mean, I just thought that was crazy, guys. Like literally, who does that? Why would you get your ex to come and cook for you and the woman you're now seeing? And also this woman was bitter because she was like, yeah, when we were together, he used to take me to like chain restaurants. And then now this is this man now, clearly upgrading, booking all these fancy places, getting personal chefs to come and like chef it up for his new boo. Anyway, so that happened. And now we are going to go into the last thing on the agenda, which is the Q&A. So to kick it off, I'm going to start with Yemu. Yemu asks, I have a question about something you mentioned about how it can be hard to dedicate time between different guys when dating. And I wonder how our culture shapes our dating preferences and practices, and if personality has something to play with it. So I'll definitely say that culture definitely plays into this, at least for me, in the sense that I just didn't understand the dating pool that I was dealing with, right? Like coming from where I come from and how I understood dating from back home, the way that they define dating and like talking over here is just completely different. So definitely culture played a big role in this. I think maybe in the back of my mind, I just think that maybe I should talk to one person at a time. But also the personality thing, I think for sure. I don't know what it is really, if we can talk about like loyalty or what, because it's also weird when you say like, oh, I'm loyal to someone, but then you've just literally started talking to them. So maybe that's too strong a word. But I think, like I said before, there is an emotional aspect to it, which I was calling emotional wiring. So if there's someone who is educated in the medical field and has a term for it, please help us out here. But yeah, basically it's like the whole thing that like, I don't know if it's a personality thing, an emotional thing. I don't know, it's just hard for me to connect with multiple people at once. So I think it ends up just being one at a time. Thanks, Yemu, for following up with this question. Let me know, guys. Hit me up in the DMs if you think that personality and culture play into this whole thing. So the next question comes from Colin, right? So Colin asks, does someone having an Android affect their chance of getting into a relationship? So, when he asked this question, I literally laughed out loud because it's like, like, that just sounds kind of crazy, right? But I looked it up and there are actually studies. Okay, also, I don't know what kind of studies these are, but there are studies that actually show that when someone has an Android or whatever that's not an iPhone, it actually reduces their chances. And apparently it's because it's a turn off for some women, and apparently it's also an indication of wealth. So apparently when you have an iPhone, it shows that you might be like more well off. And this article that I read pretty much said like, oh, like people who have BMWs or those kind of fancy cars, right? Like how people read into your wealth, that might be the same thing as like the iPhone thing. Personally, for me, I don't think it affects how I feel about someone, but I will say I enjoy using reactions. I want to haha to your messages. I want to exclaim to your messages. I want to like them. I want to love them. And I just want to see blue bubbles. But if you do a little like switch up on me and then you end up like, getting a Samsung or whatever, which happened before, I can work with you. If you want me to download like Google Duo, I'll do it. So it's not it's not for me like a deal breaker, if that makes sense. And the last question comes from Vid, and Vid was asking, how long is a good time to wait before dating someone new? When is it okay to meet people and open your heart again? This is such a deep question, and like, it's just so deep and there's so much to it. I will just say, thinking of it from your perspective as the person who is coming out of something, who's hurt, I think it's good to process things when they happen, like cry, vent about it, get it out of your system, so that by the time that you are, like some months have passed or whatever, you feel like you've gotten it out of your system and you've dealt with the hurt, right? But I'll also say that time is not the only factor. You can wait for like 2 years and say like, oh, I'm going to wait to meet somebody after 2 years, because I think after 2 years I'll be done. But if you don't actively work through the hurt and through the pain, then after 2 years, you're still pretty much in the same spot, right? To where if someone asks you about what happened, you still feel like it happened yesterday. So I think process emotions and get it out of your system before you talk to someone. And from the other person's perspective, so the people who you are actually going to be talking to after you come out of something, right? I think one thing to remember is that hurt people hurt people. So if you're hurting, you're going to hurt someone in the end. That's just how I think about this. So if you jump into something too quickly, when the feelings about your ex then come back, it's going to hurt whoever you are with at the time. So for example, let's say I come out of something today, I start dating somebody new next week. 3 months down the line, I might start thinking about my ex, and then I'm going to just like pretty much break it to this person that I'm so sorry, I'm just not over my ex. So hurt people. So deal with your emotions first, for sure. That's it from me, you guys. Thank you so much for all the engagement. I'm loving all the comments. I'm loving all the questions, the engagement on Instagram. It's just been an awesome ride so far. Have an amazing few days, and I will catch you guys with the next episode with my guests on Friday. Take care.